things pop up here on the board in front of me that you're gonna want to see because we
my.
have got ourselves a puck for Scandal. We've seen him play that one. So yeah, last week I think we saw him play puck twice.
Yes.
In both of the games, at like 40 minutes, he hadn't died. One of the games he ended up dying once, and that ended up costing them the game, and they lost. And the other game, they just rolled over their opponent.
I mean, Scandals plays puck literally perfectly. I mean, he will die once the entire time. He's an insane puck player, and we've just seen him do such amount of impact from the beginning, the middle, and the end. I mean, to let him have it, they've got to be pretty confident that they're going to be able to handle that puck.
I feel like both teams, they got the perfect opening. The opening they really wanted. Funny to see that Empire went for the exact same bans that we saw from No Diggity yesterday versus Navi, banning the Chen and the Enchantress. That was the exact same.
Oh my god, can they slow down?
Yeah,
I'm right.
That's very fast.
They know their strat.
This draft is typical Navi draft. The Batrider Wisp opening is exactly like they've been doing this a lot because Suneko roams a lot, and then you're a support, you're trying to zone a Batrider, and as soon as you're trying to zone him or you get close to him, then the Wisp TP staggers to the Batrider. You're dead with your support. Like, it's extremely scary. So just having the Wisp in your lineup makes the Batrider, gives a lot of space to the Batrider. So I kind of like this. I want to like they went for Earthspit Puck versus Wisp. It's a great answer to Wisp. It's a lot of global control, a lot of global silence. It's really hard for the Wisp to position himself in the fights. He's gonna get hit by whatever spell they cast, like the Orb from the Puck, the Magnetize from the Earthspit, so he's not gonna be able to heal the target. Getting the relocate off is also quite difficult. They have a lot of control AoE. So great heroes, and as you said, Scandal Puck, signature hero, Miposhka Earthspirit, very scary to play against. He's very good, and he does a lot in early game. So I really feel like the two teams are getting exactly the heroes they want. Artstyle Bane, that's hero he plays a lot as well. On Empire side, Afterlife Prophet, he's been extremely successful with the Prophet yesterday. We saw him against No Diggity, he did a lot. So overall, I like the draft. I think the draw pick is the scary one for Navi. I think it was a very risky one, honestly. Yeah, especially if they can grab themselves a Spectre. This is such a tough draw game. Pretty much any combination of those heroes on the Empire side can kill the draw. So it's gonna be like Soneko is gonna have to protect that draw really well. And Wisp Draw Ranger is not a good combo by any means. So
oh, come on, what about that sick Wisp auto attack and amp damage?
I don't think that's very good at all. You don't really want to relocate the draw. It doesn't make so much sense. Like, Navi is going all in laning gaming. Like, they want to win all lanes. They have the Wisp that can just roam from one lane to the other, heal people up, try to counter initiate or just TP in, be aggressive. They're probably going to pick a very aggressive hero for Dendi. He's going to have Soneko that backs him up. He's going to have the draw aura. So Navi wants to win the lanes. If they don't, like, unfortunately, they don't crush the lanes even. I don't think they stand a chance in this game.
So who are they going to pick? Tiny was not banned out, so they're not afraid of that.
They're going to pick something like Quap or Viper. Some very strong hero on the lane that just dominates the lane with the back of the draw aura and the Wisp. This puck is going to have a really tough time.
And is that going to be a Dendi Viper?
It's going to be a Dendi Viper.
How are you going to put somebody like Dendi on Viper? Homie just right clicks. He's got all that skill.
Exactly. Dendi doesn't like those heroes like... he doesn't like Razor, he doesn't like Viper. He's like the flashy type of player.
Yeah, he's a flashy dude.
But it can still work. Like, they have this noble lineup where if they win all 3 lanes and go for objectives, they get an early mech on the Viper. Wisp Tether plus Viper plus mech, that's like double mech. So it's an insane amount of healing early on. That means that they literally cannot kill the Viper. Like, the Team Empire, if Viper has a good game with the Wisp behind them, they won't be able to kill him whatsoever. So on the back of that Viper, just tanking like in the front lines and just pushing, they can get every single tower, they can get Roche, and they can go high ground pretty fast, actually. So, but, I mean, the game plan of Navi is crush the lanes. And if they don't, they're going to be in huge troubles.
They're done. How quick does Navi need to win this game before it's over? I mean, if they go in the late game,
20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
If they don't win in 20 minutes, the game is going to be insanely hard.
Do you think they can?
Yes,
That's the question.
Oh, come on, it's Navi. They can win in 8 minutes.
They can, for sure.
This is your bet, by the way.
Yeah. Either Navi wins in 20-25 minutes, or they're going to lose the game. I don't see them winning in the game.
But you have to choose a side. Who you predict to win?
I don't know. Empire has a lot of team fights. That's really tough. It's all on Soneko. It's all on the Wisp rotation. So I'd say Navi wins
You're saying Navi wins?
Yeah, go for
Navi
it.
wins.
Navi
What do you think?
There's one saying I have. It's Viper wins his lanes, but he loses his games. So I'm going to be going with Team Empire.
That happens a lot.
I'm going with Team Empire as well, because Scandal Puck is just... What are you going to do?
What's your saying, though? It didn't rhyme.
I don't
Scandal
have a say.
Puck, don't give a fuck.
Great. I already insulted one nation today. I don't want to insult
Regardless.
anyone else anymore because it's not really good. So let's go over to our first game. We have Empire versus Na'Vi, guys. It is time for game 1 with Odie Pixel and Rascal. Enjoy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the casting desk here on DreamLeague here. It's another exciting matchup now. We've got Empire versus Na'Vi. I'm Odie Pixel. I'm, of course, joined by Draskell. We've seen the drafts, Andy.
Yep.
And, well, we've got Empire. They've got some of their special stuff. We're going to be seeing, of course, that Scandal Puck and Na'Vi with the kind of the welcome to Dota strat. You know, it's these heroes. The Viper, the Drow Ranger. You can't screw up the lanes with this hero, and it's going to be Dendi Drow. Now, that's something that you don't see every day. I mean, a lot of CIS teams do like this kind of Drow strat. I've got to be honest, I'm not too familiar with Na'Vi doing it that much.
Well, it's one of those things that's very conducive to their style of play. They like to dominate the lanes. The early game tempo is something that they've always played for, regardless of the roster that you loved Na'Vi as. You know, even back in the puppy days, they did stuff like this from time to time. So I think it's very good for what their players like to do. If we watch the first game yesterday they played, they dominated. They had this early game tempo control, get pickoffs, push towers. So in that sense, it kind of makes me feel happy that they picked something like this because I feel like this is where they're most comfortable. But at the same time, as Seb said, if they don't win the early game and crush the lanes, this game is going to be like almost unwinnable.
I mean, would you agree with kind of a 25-minute timer, Seb?
25, 30 minutes, yeah.
30,
if by that point you have like full control of the map, you've taken Roshan, they don't have any outer tier towers left, and you're just holding all 3 lanes,
yes,
you can win that way for sure. But the problem with that kind of strategy is that if you mess up at all, there's so much global potential on Empire. Like you have Haunt, you have Furion +1, Earthspit rotations are really strong, Disruptor is really good at punishing positioning, and if Na'Vi is like grouping up 5-man and towers and then they decide to back, Glimpse becomes an incredibly powerful tool for getting picks. So there's just so small margin for error for Na'Vi's lineup. Like Seb said he thinks they're going to win, and they very well could if they play it well, but they have to play it really well.
I'm going to be interested to see this decision as well. So obviously the fact that we've got Dendi on the Drow in the mid lane, and you've got Ditcher on the Viper on the safe lane. Is there a reason why you have the Drow here rather than in the safe lane, or vice versa? I mean, is there a certain hero you want against the puck?
Well, I suppose it actually makes Dendi a little bit safer to be mid. Seb was talking the other day about how hard it is to gank Radiant mid, and having art style around means that no matter what, I think Scandal would have had a bit of a hard time. But this lane pretty much ensures that Dendi is going to be getting the farm that he needs.
Yeah, we'll see how much Scandal can farm for this. And
I mean, just look at this is an example why they put him mid, right?
Yeah.
Like Sineko's already so low on health because Io can't really do anything against Nature's Prophet in lane. He just sends the trees at him and auto attacks. So because the auto attacks are so strong, the Drow would have a harder time on lane, right? Like the Drow would get idly pressured because she can't do anything against the treants either. Whereas Viper is probably a bit more durable. You know, you put a point or two into Corrosive, and he's a more self-sufficient safe laner that can actually stand here and deal with Afterlife, even if Sineko is forced to pull.
I mean, in that sense, in terms of the CS on the bottom lane, do you feel it's going to be fairly, like, you expect the Nature's Prophet to do all right? He's not going to kill the Viper, but he's still going to find farm.
Yeah, he's going to do very fine, which is always a concern because we talk about how they need to win lanes. General here is going to Firefly up the edge.
And with this Glimpse back, this looks like it could be the first blood, and it will be. Going the way of Ramses as well. Nicely done for the side of Empire. First blood to a Spectre. That's not always the most ideal of situations there if you're the opposition.
Well, that's one of the worst things that can happen. Unfortunately for General, he's not going to have too much in the way of help from the rest of Na'Vi. Smaposhka gets the DD. Very nice steal.
He's not going to try and man up fully against Artstyle. Knows that Artstyle does have a nightmare under the brace.
He's actually dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Na'Vi getting themselves on the board. It's going to be 1-1 at the moment, mid lane. Scandal feeling the full effects of Dendi coming in with the punches. And CS-wise, in this mid lane, though, Scandal is doing all right. 10 for 2 against the 8 for 2 of Dendi, and Dendi's had backup.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I feel like they had to make a sacrifice, Na'Vi, because if they put Dendi in the safe lane, like we talked about how much of a struggle he would have in that situation. So because he's not up against the Viper, I think Scandal, he's maybe getting an easier lane than he even anticipated at this point. But that's just because of how good Furion is. Like the fact that he made it to, what, 3rd or 4th pick, and he's able to go down into this lane when they like first picked Io Bat. They already have really bad heroes at dealing with him in lane, unless you're putting the Bat against Furion, in which case I still think Furion wins. So, I don't know. it's a little bit weird on how they kind of have to win the lanes, but the Furion is doing so much in the way of forcing them to change the way their lanes actually shape up. And like you mentioned, Scandal's getting a lot. It's a little bit shaky of an early game here for Na'Vi. They need to do some serious damage in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fact that Spectre's 17 for 5, General on its bat, really yet to do much in terms of dealing with the Spectre, but I guess it's hard when you are running with this Disruptor as well, and especially with the fact that the Earth Spirit has pretty much been, you know, a lot of the times we see Earth Spirit rotate to the mid lane. This Earth Spirit's been sitting top constantly and just babysitting the Spectre as well as the Disruptor, so this is a very safe lane for Ramses to farm in.
His rotations really wouldn't do much if Scandal's low on HP. Like since he's been struggling and he's getting harassed a lot by Artstyle, if he rolls on mid and there's not like an extra person there besides Scandal, I don't think they can actually kill. Bane's just way too strong of an early game hero. He's got really good armor, he's got Drow Aura, you know, he's got Nightmare to turn the gank around as well. So there's a lot of tools at his disposal to make sure that Dende's having a pretty good time. Which he is still. Like he's 3rd highest CS and everything, so.
Roll 4 from Aposhi, getting the slow onto Seneko, blocking him up, will be glimpsed back and into a Thunderstrike. I mean, he's going to tether across, but the kickstun is on point. And that's going to be another kill for Ramses now. Eyeing up General. General trying to play around with the Firefly here. They are going to have another roll through, but it's going to be missed here by the Earth Spirit. But the Fairy Fire might just be enough to keep him alive.
Oh, no dagger.
Oh, he can't quite get down. Afterlife's coming as well. One more clip would do it, but Seneko coming in with the save.
He didn't
will keep him alive. And yeah, Ramses, nightmared up. Afterlife, he may just go down himself. Will pop the stick charges. Isn't going to be enough. He's going to go down, and now Na'Vi looking to punish this safe lane. Tries to find Ramses as well, but he will be able to get himself back there. But at the end of the day, it is still another kill for this Spectre. 2 kills on the board at the moment, just 4 minutes and 45 seconds in.
That was a very rare execution mistake there from Ramses. Like he had 10 stick charges the entire time, and he had like just a little bit shy in mana to be able to throw the dagger. He could have just popped it, guaranteed the kill on the Batrider. You know, your Furion lives because he doesn't have to overcommit, and that mistake actually cost them quite a bit, and kills that Na'Vi desperately need to make sure they're staying ahead in this early game.
This mid lane has now started to, of course, go the way of Dendi now. We've got 28 to 13 against the 15 for 3, and this is the power of the Drow coming online, and this is still before he's got that level 6. So when that happens, I mean, it's going to swing even more in favor of the Radiant.
Yeah, as soon as he gets marksmanship, he's going to out-CS the puck handedly. Unfortunately, there's not really much that he can do. Like Scandal, he's kind of forced to just sit here and do whatever. But as soon as he gets 6, the nice thing is, since Ramses, when he gets 6, the synergy between Puck, Furion, and the Spectre is really strong, you can set up ganks anywhere. And an IO lineup has a tendency to want to split push. You know, you want to utilize the efficiency of the Wisp by putting a hero with the Wisp in another location on the map away from the rest of the team. And that's when your Puck initiation plus Spectre plus Furion just kills the Wisp combo. And you can very easily interrupt like a relocate with a coil and a silence and things like that. So it's really strong.
Top lane, again, another bit of a fight. General gets caught out by the lineup of Empire. I mean, it is a very, very hard lane for this bat to deal with, but he's giving quite a lot to the side of Empire. They're going to have Heartstar wandering in. Ramses is low. But looks like Empire still want to fight. Afterlife blocks up the tree line of Ramses. He's got to be careful, and he's actually going to get taken down there. Heartstar gets the kill. They will lose the Eye for it, but Heartstar just still alive, single-handedly causing so many issues for Empire. Looks like he will end up going down. Oh, the Fairy Fire! Oh, they've got the Vision Goods.
Oh, he didn't get it. Yeah, Bane animations are really slow, unfortunately.
I mean, it's all going down at this top lane. General, he's not done. He wants to come back in. He has started a few times. He wants to try and go for the kill. King R pops down. The kinetic field is going to be enough now. Ramses, he's back in the game after dying. TP's back in. Will actually allow Afterlife to find a triple kill off the back of that.
All right.
What the hell's going on up here?
I actually think the Empire are okay with this. Because at the end of the day, they didn't lose the... No, they did lose the Spectre, actually. He did die.
He went down at the start.
It actually just lasted so long that he TP'd back.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably still Empire happy with this. They have a kill lead against a team that's supposed to be winning all 3 lanes. Like, their Spectre is not farming amazingly well.
But he's 2-1-4.
Yeah, but he's got kills, right? So it's always okay. And the thing about Spectre is it's a comeback hero. Once Scandal starts moving around the map, and you have this Afterlife Furion who's 3-1 and also has decent farm, he picks up a pair of drums, you just start fighting. Like, you can skirmish very well, and this Batrider's blink is going to be so slow.
Mid lane, going in for the solo kill, no messes around for the Scandal. Sees an opening, sees an opportunity, jumps in, takes down Seneko like that with the Dream Coil.
Yeah, and that's going to be happening a lot this game, I'm guessing. with the way that their lineup functions. They're just so good at forcing fights on their own terms. Like, they can just pick any point in the map. It's like, Scandal sees a target, boom, 3 heroes are there. You know, a coil's dropped on him. If the IO is not there with a relocate, that hero's probably just dead. So,
I mean, it kind of in that kind of consideration, how do you utilize this Viper pick? Obviously, Ditcher on the Viper, he's getting a decent amount of farm on this bottom lane. I mean,
he's doing the right thing. Like,
yeah,
I think the number one priority for
mech.
him is getting the mech really fast, and that way you can start 5-manning, because, you know, marksmanship is up. There's 3 points into Precision Aura, so Dendy's got everything that he needs to supplement the push already. And it's like Matt was saying, you don't really need a lot of time as a drill lineup to start taking down towers, especially tier 1s. So I'm guessing as soon as that is finished, they're going to start either 4-manning or 5-manning and just going for it. You know, just trying to get as much map control as they feasibly can.
Scandal here, he does not have an orb, but he does have a haste. He's good.
Just as good. Maybe better, actually. But there's still a lot of pressure on Na'Vi, especially General. Like, he needs to have some kind of a comeback. Because here's the problem, right? Na'Vi's lineup going high ground is very reliant on Batrider having a Blink Dagger, because it makes Empire position themselves further back, which allows Dro and the Viper to actually hit the tower. Otherwise, you're going to get hit like by boulder smashes, you're going to, you know, eventually get whittled down, and maybe they decide to back up, and that's when Disruptor becomes really scary.
Top lane, means yeah, Artstyle was trying to have a go on Disruptor here, but the turnaround's going to come in. Ramsey's just popping the horn. No messing around for the man. Moves in. There'll be a Nightmare. Might actually end up with denying it is. Ditcher's now coming with the rotation. Drops the Viper Stroke onto King Arthur Flamebreak, bringing the Disruptor back. They should be able to find one, and they will do. So it is a support for a support trade, and the rotation from Ditcher allowing them to cut that fight even for Na'Vi.
That was such a nice deny, actually. Artstyle is playing really well today. Like,
He is.
really well. I'm going to feel bad if they lose and, you know, Artstyle just has this standout game. Because normally he's the guy who you look to be like, okay, he makes some shot calls. He does a little bit of drafting help with Seneko. But most of the time, he's playing these heroes that don't necessarily have a big impact. You know, you talk about Dazzle, and a hero just stands behind most of the time.
Yeah, this Bane, he's been front. He's been the one initiating the fights. He just runs straight in, starts to, you know, do as much as he can with the brain stats, make sure that he gets the first one in early, so he's going to have the chance to get a second one in during the fights,
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
and then denies himself. You know,
What a player.
finally worked out. You know,
And the
a
weird thing was,
useful
like,
spell to use on himself.
Afterlife has a million
Shadow
trees
Blade.
there as well, and just didn't react.
Yes.
That's kind of weird, right? Because normally you think you would have the time. You just, you know, even if you have the binding where you do the control clicking or whatever to make sure that all units have a unified command.
Yeah, when you hold the control.
Yeah. You can just control right click and then one of the trees wakes them up. So still a very nice play. Na'Vi still have their work cut out for them though. Looks like the game will be underway here in just a second. King R just had to reconnect quickly. But it's been a very action-packed early game.
Yeah, but with 9 minutes in, 7 for 5. It's but as you said, it's this kind of way that the game's being played out is favouring Empire.
Yeah, I think so.
It's,
I mean, no towers have dropped yet. It's like 10 minutes in. I know it's not like the end-all be-all to kill towers as early as Dro, but I think it's something that you're very capable of doing. And I also feel like we talked about earlier, it's predicated on Ditcher having his mech, which he does now have. So even though General didn't have necessarily an amazing start, he is going to be around halfway to his Blink after this Tier 1 drops. And getting the Blink Dagger is going to be so good for getting momentum and map control for Na'Vi's lineup, because they can use IO relocates on top of, you know, Batrider ultimates. And then you just guarantee that you get those kills. Interestingly enough, he doesn't have ulti.
I was going to say, yeah, Lasso not skilled at level 6.
Maybe he just
shield
feels like
attacks.
he doesn't even care about it until he has his Blink Dagger,
Okay.
which I feel like is weird, but it kind of makes sense at the same time. Just because of the way the fights have been rolling out, you know, he's not going to pull anybody out of position.
Talking about rolling, the Boulder Man himself ready to jump in onto the mid lane. Dendy caught out by a nice smoke from Apostra and King Art.
They
Getting
need
the
to be
wraparound.
careful.
Now, Arsenal's going to lead him with a Fiend script. It's going to be cancelled straight away by the Dream Call. Apostra getting low, laid down the Magnetize. Artstyle trying to gain this one again. Nightmare on himself doesn't work out for him this time. It's another kill for Afterlife. Now on a dominating streak on his Nature's Prophet. And, you know, we know the push with Na'Vi is strong, but at the same time, with his Nature's Prophet, you can turn a kill into a pretty decent, sizable push anytime. And they're going to try and go for the Tier 1 in the mid lane. General is there to clean it out. Looks like he will be able to hold off the aggression of Empire. And we're now seeing Empire finding themselves those 2 kills, and Na'Vi, they're just not able to do anything, especially losing the drought at the start, because that is a lot of your early game damage output just
that's
cut
like,
off.
it's all of it. I mean, you have 5 ranged heroes, so if your Dro dies, you're effectively losing, you know, like 40% of, you know, maybe 30% of your team's overall DPS. So it's definitely a big loss. And this is the thing that a lot of Dro strats fall prey to, is they get picked off a lot because they're not saying like, okay, let's 5-man, let's 5-man, let's 5-man as soon as you get the mech and the marksmanship aura up. If they're playing that way and they're only 5-manning, it leaves Empire very few options as how they're supposed to engage. Because walking into a 5-man is a lot scarier than seeing 1 or 2 heroes walking across the map when you have 2 global ultimates and a puck. It's just, you need to move as a unit, I feel, if you want to continually pressure like this. And sure, General getting his blink is always going to be a priority, but you do get gold for killing towers as well. So I don't think that staying spread out all the time too long is going to be great for them. I think they really want to try to focus on grouping up and getting as much map control as they can, and ideally they even want to get Roche. That's probably the best thing that can happen. And if for whatever reason Empire are able to fight around the Roche pit and they get Roshan instead, that throws a huge wrench into Navi's game plan.
I mean, it's talking about fighting around the Roche, but you look at Empire's lineup and they've got some pretty decent ways of dealing with that. And well, top lane, Artstyle tries to go for a Phoenix Grip, but he's going to get glimpsed back. Seneko actually bringing Ditchara here in with the relocate, but the Static Storm drop down here. And Afterlife coming in as well, the right click. They'll pop the mech. Not enough to keep Seneko alive. Afterlife, he's trying for the TP out. He's going to get Nightmare though, so they will finish him off. Meposhka now coming through, gets the silence on to do the magnetize as well, and Ramses, he's still hanging around. Starts moving on to Ditchara. Couple of points to Desolate doing a fair bit of work as Ditchara gets himself away from the fight. Ramses can get close enough, which he will. He might just be able to do it one more touch and he will find it there. Scandal will get taken down as Dendy getting himself a double kill. Now can Dendy clean up? Can he man up now? The Desolate is too much. He's got to run. He's got to hide. General coming in, but Dendy's still gone. He might just be able to clean this one up. General Ramses falling low. Now tries to run himself up here, but General, one more right click should do it. Oh, he's got that point.
He's got a stick. He's got stick.
Stick.
Oh,
he didn't stick.
Oh, God. That's twice, man.
Oh.
Maybe he's still got the Shanghai keyboard.
Maybe he's not got a keyboard at all. That's the Shanghai keyboard.
That is actually the
Shanghai
keyboard.
You don't have one. But, wow.
He could have lived there. That's actually a pretty costly mistake because General's Firefly actually ended. Like, maybe he blinks after him or something, but an urn charge and like 5 or 6 sticks,
one
you can
charges,
dagger into the trees as well and like go for a juke. I think he didn't need to die there. That was really unfortunate. But I mean, still, you know, you have these scrappy fights. The big thing to take into account here for Na'Vi is the fact that they're not getting objectives when they're fighting like this. And I think Empire are okay trading evenly. If they're not losing the fights really bad, it's okay for Empire to fight pretty much at any given point, as long as they're not giving up an objective. Because it's the same thing when you're playing like against a Death Prophet. If you make her use her ultimate and she's not pushing, it just gives you time, right? It gives you more time to where your lineup can actually come to fruition.
Oh, is it, I don't know if they get away with this. I mean, Empire, they're going to get scouted out, but we know that Empire can fight very well around this.
There's no haunt, and Spectre doesn't have a TP.
Got Dream Coil and Static Storm. Is that not enough?
It's actually Haunt's up in 8. Yeah, they got Blink on Puck as well.
They can totally go for this, surely.
Oh, it's in base. He doesn't have the Blink on him. Oh, they're not going to kill it fast enough. There's Haunt available. This is bad.
Yeah, Haunt comes out, Artstyle, Seneko, Dendy, and Ditchara. There's going to be the Static Storm trapping back the Viper here. Meposhka getting low. Dendy just turning, doing a fair bit of damage, but they've already lost 2 on the side of Na'Vi. Artstyle will grip up Afterlife, and he will get himself the kill, potentially one more right click, and he'll do it. Oh, he's just going to go for the Nightmare kill. Style points here for the man on the Bane. Scandal now lassoed up by General. Ramses is still there, and he's earning down, right clicking down Artstyle. Oh no, this is one of those fights that's going to haunt them quite literally. It's a triple kill for the Spectre. Very close to becoming an Ultra.
Oh, he got the urn off.
Oh, it's...
He's going to try the Knight of Roche, but I don't think he'll make it.
Oh, man. I mean, that is the point where you probably abandon the game if it's a pub game. The Spectre just got an Ultra kill, and we're only 15 minutes in, Andy.
Whew. Well, you know how we were talking about that Roshan fight that could be really bad, and the fact that it's so low on top of that, and they have a tier 1.
Solo it.
They have a tier 1 mid, and Na'Vi don't have a tier 1. So how are they supposed to get heroes here fast enough?
Oh my goodness, solo XP and everything for the man.
He's going to get help, but unfortunately, Spectre doesn't do a tremendous amount of damage at this stage in the game to
He nearly had it. He nearly had it.
Yeah, but this is the stage in the game where Navi's game plan is already just out the window. Like, you can't lose that fight, especially not in that manner, and giving all the kills to Ramses.
Yeah, Ultra Ice. Oh boy. I mean, I guess on the back of that fight as well, you just say you go for the Radiance now. If you've got 2 points on
yeah, absolutely. You definitely go Radiance this game. It's really good against Bat Rider. Yeah. I mean, it's good against under-farm supports, and Navi's lineups, or at least this one in particular, they have a tendency to get under-leveled because they 5-man so much. So at some point, Na'Vi are going to say, we don't really have a backup plan other than 5-manning, because their split push against what Empire have is just not going to work. Empire's mobility is way too good. Like Puck, double globals, disruptor, Earth Spirit. Like their initiation potential is absolutely insane. So Navi's only game plan is we need to try to 5-man, maybe get like 1 or 2 more
Denzi.
items up.
Oh.
He is so dead.
Yeah, he's out.
Like, this game just doesn't... You know the Dro strat is going poorly when Empire are able to play aggressively on the other side of the map and not get punished somewhere else. And they're finding the Dro as well, which is probably the worst hero to die, I would say, out of anyone in this lineup. Because in order to get the stat scaling that you want, you obviously need farm. And if you're dead, you can't farm. You're not going to get level 16, which is ideally what you want to hit around the time that you're, you know, maybe even before you go high ground, you want 16. But I'm not sure. This game seems really rough right now.
I mean, what's nice as well is we've seen just like that how easily they can take these tier 1s, and Empire, they've still got a tier 1 top to take. You take that, and that's the relic at least done for the Spectre. Is that just having that extra gold that's there available on Scandal. He's actually jumping in on this. Drops down the Dream Cold General. Will be glimpsed back down to the low ground, and again, it's fantastic control by Empire. General's gone. There'll be a feasible to Scandal though, and they will punish that puck jumping. But now Ramses, he's haunted in incredibly aggressively here, but he's going to take a Viper strike to the face, and he will go down. But he's got the Aegis. He's going to be ready for round 2, but at the same time, it looks like Na'Vi could be in a position to fight back here. Dendi on the sidelines. Artstar moving in, seeing if he gets anything out. Miposhka will turn around with a nice stun to stop Artstar getting off a Nightmare. And
that
Empire
wasn't too bad. That was not too bad at all. Like, considering the circumstances, like, eating a Haunt, having the Aegis on the Spectre, and you trade a mid for an offlane, I think that Na'Vi, you probably walk away from that feeling okay. Especially considering they can just directly pressure the mid-tier 1, because Empire hadn't lost that tower yet.
But is it enough at this point of the game?
Well, it's something, you know?
It's something.
I mean, you have to look at every victory for this lineup and say, every win is good, because we need to be ahead at this stage in the game. And to be totally honest, they're not ahead by any metric. It's the exact opposite of what you want, because this Viper is not going to translate well into late game against a Spectre, and neither is a Dro. Spectre is probably one of the best heroes against Dro in the game, because you can just close the gap by hitting R. You're just on top of her, and then it's like, okay, well, once he has Radiance and Manta, I can't even silence. Like, he just Mantas it off, I get chased down. I'm relying too much on my support cast to be able to bail me out. Whereas Empire, they can pretty much put everything in the Spectre basket this game.
Radiant's bottom tower
they really
is
can.
under
Just
attack.
about 1k away from having that fully fledged Radiance. The fact that you've also got the Veil done on Miposhka's Earth Spirit. I mean, these team fights are going to get harder and harder for Na'Vi. It really is a question of how they can play around this, and if it is getting to the point where the draft is just not going to cut it at this stage of the game. 15 to 20, Empire leading, and we're going to see Na'Vi go for a smoke.
He auto-attacks the Ancient. I suppose it doesn't necessarily give away the smoke, but it doesn't help it either. But this is a move they need to make. Like, General is the guy you're looking to right now on Na'Vi, and you're saying if this guy doesn't find, like, a ton of picks, like, a ton, they need to be able to get a hero and a tower, and then a hero and then another tower. That's how it needs to go down. In that sense, the smoke is pretty much the only way you're going to be able to get it reliably.
Let's see what he finds here. He's going to jump in, and he's going to find the pick onto the scanner there. He's going to be bringing in a relocate as well. Fiend Strip as well. They don't want to mess around with this puck. They do not want to allow him to have the chance to escape, and no chance. It's a clean pick off. For the time being, Empire maybe eyeing up if they could go for anything in return. Ramses does have Haunt. They've got the Static Storm and the Magnetize available as well, but it looks like Na'Vi will just look for the push in the mid lane. So Na'Vi getting themselves a nice pick off.
This is what they need.
Get an objective as well.
Yeah, it's what I was saying. Like, the Batrider in this game is kind of a fail-safe in a way. Sometimes you go all in on push instead, and you pick an offlaner, you know, that can help you siege high ground. Like, we even saw Jakiro before, right? But this one will actually help you get picks, which, like, Dro lineups don't typically have insane picking potential. But this one with the Batrider is enough to at least force some kind of pressure to Empire. So that's something that you can look to as a Na'Vi fan and say, okay, you know, General can pull us back.
Oh.
He had the right read, just a little bit slow, unfortunately. So, yeah, he's going to have BKB probably in the next, like, 5-10 minutes. And then once that happens, Empire actually have a very hard time punishing his initiation, which is good. So if Na'Vi can keep applying the pressure like this, they still have a shot. It might not be a great one, but it's definitely not zero.
Ramses now just about, yeah, this one creep wave away from that Radiance. So that is going to be done and ready for the next fight. Horn also off cooldown. He is very much ready to go. It's going to be interesting to see what the plan is from Na'Vi. They're about to have a smoke come into them as well if Empire have the right reads here. Na'Vi at the moment in the top lane. Just coming through the jungle, and it looks like Empire will be able to smoke in the right direction.
This is going to be really scary for Na'Vi. They don't have their Batrider either.
Yeah,
I think they realize it now. They're just like,
cannot hang around.
Oh, they have a ward, but I don't think they scouted the smoke. They seem to be aware that something's coming, though.
Now they know. The Haunt revealing Ditchara, the tree line. Suneko getting jumped on immediately. They want to remove the Iris, so he cannot remove any teammates. Ditchara tries for the TP out, but the glimpse is there. He's going to be the second casualty.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that move, actually. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, with this lineup that Na'Vi have, you're moving the heroes on your team that can be at the fight at the drop of a hat. So why not give them the safer position to farm? Why not bring, you know, just the Bat Rider and the Bane? Those are the two heroes that you can move around and just say, okay, well, we can get a Fiend's Grip on top of our lasso that guarantees a relocate, and we can make sure that if there is a gank happening, at best we're only risking 2 heroes instead of putting our Viper in a position where the Isle where he can die. Because if these 2 heroes are dead, your Bat Rider is not going to be able to do anything. So instead of, you know, rotating up these 3 heroes, you can just have Ditchara with Suneko bottom, and then you can have Artstyle with General just looking for the picks themselves. Like, that's how the lineup is supposed to work. You're not supposed to bring the Wisp. You relocate the Wisp in. So I don't know why they felt like they had to do that, or maybe it was just to place the word. I'm not sure, but either way, it did not work out quite how they wanted it to. But it's something, you know. They're trying stuff, and when you're in this situation as a draw strat, you need to keep trying. You can't give up and play the farm game, because you will never win the farm game.
Oh, you certainly won't, especially against this Spectre. Just yeah, ever since off the back of that Ultra Kill, it's been looking good, but until now, as he has been caught out with the silence and the control. That's a big pick. That is a massive pick for Na'Vi.
Yeah, it's really good. But that's what I'm saying, right? It's just the Bat and the Bane. Those 2 heroes are enough most of the time. If the hero is on its own, and it was a very nice ward actually that ended up scouting him out. So props to the warding here.
I mean, generally he is really kind of had a much better game even after the start that he was having. I think at the beginning we saw him go 0 for 3 on the offlane, but ever since then he's pretty much been the reason for a lot of these kind of mid-game pickoffs that Na'Vi have found. So some really impressive stuff from the Bat Rider, considering the start that he did have against Empire's pretty scary defensive tri lane.
Yeah, without General constantly looking for kills, you can just feel the pressure on Na'Vi. Like, look at where they're positioned. If General's not out and about, like with a smoke or, you know, whatever, just trying to find a pick, knowing that relocate's off cooldown, they just are terrified. They have some warding up, but it doesn't give them like a lot of information right now, because obviously Empire are going for the smoke play themselves, and the ward faded on the high ground, so this one is not going to be scouted. And Hawk's going to be available in about 5 seconds, so Ramses will be able to join this fight too.
See if they can find anything in Na'Vi. Actually, playing it safe at the moment. Reading the map, seeing that no one's revealing themselves in the lane, so
yeah,
they sense that something's up.
I feel like you want to play around your vision right now if you're Na'Vi. Like, if you know that they're smoked, you can just keep pushing top because you have wards there. Like, if they do go that way and the smoke eventually breaks, you might have a chance of seeing it like before they initiate on you. But by sitting in base, it's, you know, it's not really accomplishing a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, it's scary, but at the same time, you know, if you place those wards and you don't play around them, then the point of the wards is kind of moot at this stage. But they have the ward in the jungle placed here by Empire now, so they're just waiting it out. Not going to find anything, though.
Yeah, they set up camp here, Empire.
Yeah, everyone's just chilling.
We're going to get them.
You know?
We're going to get, soon someone's going to come around this corner.
And the thing about this situation, like this stalemate, is the entire time, you know, Ramses can be hitting creeps. I mean, he's not right now, but he can be. And Afterlife can do the same thing because both of those heroes can be at the fight instantly, which is why I was mentioning that Na'Vi can't win the farm war. Because there's always going to be more efficient farming heroes than Empire due to the fact that they don't have to walk around with the rest of the team. It's a really, really hard thing to deal with. General's going to get some dewarding done here.
Into the pit, Empire go. Na'Vi, we'll see if they are going to be aware of this and if they do want to try and challenge it. They do have that ward there, so I might have seen a posh hanging around outside of it, but regardless, I mean, can Na'Vi really do anything to stop this kind of roche attempt from Empire?
It's going to die too fast, I think. Yeah. They're not moving like they know that it's happening, so.
Yeah, this should be going the way of Empire. And Ramses, how's he doing on top of that Radiance that he has? Is he... Yeah, he's starting to, I guess, build, as you say, into the Manta's start.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got the blade on it.
The Manta's super good against their heroes. Like, if you get silenced, which is actually kind of dangerous sometimes, a Spectre, if like you don't get a dagger out or something, you just Manta it off. And if you get on top of the Drow in the team fight, You know, next item progression could be heart, could be defusal, could be a number of things. I don't think he is really scared, actually, to die. I think in this game, it's quite hard to kill Ramses in a team fight. You have to commit a ton already, with him just having like 1500 health in an Aegis. So if he holds on to this, he could very easily just go for the Manta defusal build. And that makes him absolutely terrifying. Like, he just destroys the Wisp because he has a Ghost, so Seneko can just dispel it. He can kill Dendi in the same fashion, you know, prior to him finishing up that BKB. But Na'Vi not being able to pressure the map it's a rough state of affairs. Because if you look at the game clock, you know, Seb was saying 25, 30 minutes. That's when this Juro strat is supposed to be probably its peak potential, you know, pushing high ground, having the map control. And they're not really doing either. And they're going up against a late game Spectre. And a Furion on top of that. Like, we haven't talked much about Afterlife, but he's still finding farm, you know? Like, he's just doing his thing. He's going to have a completed Mjolnir relatively soon. And he's gone for a greedy build as well. Saw him do the same thing the other day. When he knows that he's ahead, he always does this. He has the Midas and the Maelstrom right into Mjolnir. And he knows that, you know, if Na'Vi want to play the farm game, okay, that's fine. We are totally comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, this build 26 minutes in. That's it's pretty impressive stuff from the Natures. I mean, it's just, he said, Na'Vi, they're unable to really do anything at this point around the map. They're just in the base. They just don't know where they can go.
Yeah, it's rough for sure.
You've got to wait. I guess at this point, you've just got to kind of hope and wait for Empire to start a fight, make some mistakes, and then somehow you come out on top of it. But it's going to be hard.
Well, I think that Empire showed some really nice poise yesterday when they were playing against No Diggity.
Art style?
I mean,
is he trying for a Fiend script? He was trying for a Fiend script.
I think he's getting restless. Like, he knows that his lineup is not supposed to be in this position, so he's just trying to do something. Like, he's trying to either get information for his team so that they can farm.
Going for a solo Fiend script on the enemy side of the map.
I'm not saying it worked out.
He was trying for it. His arms went up.
His mentality is that if we don't have any information,
maybe he's trying to surrender.
I mean, we have a ward bottom rune, right? And that's pretty much it. Like, if you don't have any information and you're playing this kind of lineup, you need to send somebody out to try to get it if you don't have a smoke. And I'm pretty sure they didn't. Otherwise, they might have tried for the smoke anyway. The only other reason I could think of him being there was to try to drop a ward, and he does have one, but I don't know if he had it when he died. I think he might have picked it up after he died. I'm not sure. But sometimes you have to go on like these expeditions to get information. Otherwise, your team just sits in the base, and that's even more game losing than, you know, sending one support out and dying. And by every minute that passes, Empire just get farther ahead because they're just feeling very comfortable with the position that they're in.
And now, though, we are going to see Empire start to come in for a bit of a push. Yet to take a tier 2 from the side of Na'Vi, but unlikely to be too much of a difficulty, as they will take the bottom lane. Na'Vi actually getting a bit of a push on this top lane. We can see 3 heroes managing to leave their side of the map: Seneko, Ditchura, and Dendi. And looks like Empire just going to methodically just work through each lane, take down the tier 2s, as you said, just continue to increase this farm advantage that they do have at the moment up ahead of the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, they bought a gem as well. This is something that they actually... No, it was Na'Vi who didn't buy the gem. I was going to say, a lot of teams make this mistake where they just don't get a gem.
Oh, so I've got one for Na'Vi as well.
Yeah. But I'm happy to see them actually doing this time around, because if you don't get a gem and you're ahead like this and you allow the enemy team to establish some kind of vision, there is always a possibility that they punish you for that. You know, they get an extra pick off that doesn't happen if they don't have wards or they dodge a smoke or whatever. Either way, I'm happy to see them both playing it a little bit more safe and standard today. But yeah, Empire, they just can chill, you know. Just turn on the Netflix, watch some Daredevil Season 2 and just hit creeps. They will eventually be at a stage where Na'Vi just won't be able to deal with Ramses. And, you know, that's even discounting Scandal's Puck, which he's actually died quite a bit this game. Contrary to...
Normally we see a Scandal game where he just doesn't die at all, but...
Yeah, but this is it's a hard Puck game because his lane was hard. Bane is one of the best heroes, in my opinion, against Puck, because he can Nightmare you, like, mid-orb, so you can't jaunt to it. He can Fiend Script you. He's just so good at destroying your abilities. Looks like we're going to have a farming relocate here. Just trying to push the lanes out a little bit more. And Manta Style's done on Ramses, so... You know, the rich get richer. And they're still getting some, like, experience in gold, but... As we mentioned... Empire are always going to be getting the better of this situation.
I mean, it really does look like this one could be slow and painful for Na'Vi, unless they find themselves a perfect fight.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be hard. Mid lane Empire now, they're looking to kick someone off. The glimpse back onto Artstyle, but will be able to walk out before the kinetic field traps him. Dichara and General come in for the side. That's a great lasso. Straight onto Ramses here. He is going to get taken down. That's the exact way Na'Vi need to start the fight. Can they try and find themselves something more? Static Storm and Dreamcore, they're trapping the three of them in the middle. They've lost Artstyle, but at the same time, Na'Vi are cleaning up house. Empire, it looks like they're the ones to get a bit too restless this time. And Na'Vi, they get themselves a double kill on Dichara. And again, a lot of this is down to General. Fantastic jump in and lasso onto Ramses. And to be fair, once Ramses is gone, Empire's team fight is a little bit lacking.
Yeah, that was probably the worst way you can start a team fight, though. Like, your Spectre doesn't get Manta style off. You glimpse, right, and you miss it. And then you try to follow up with, like, a boulder smash and a stun to initiate, and that fails as well. And then you put yourself in a really awkward position where you get punished. And that's one of the few scenarios where Navi's lineup can actually win a fight, is when you can bait it out like that, and when you get an opportunity to kill the Spectre at the very start. Because without the Spectre, you have no hero that can really absorb damage for you. And that was, I believe, 2 fresh BKBs as well. Or was it just 1? Okay, Dendi had 1, and Batrider had 1. So yeah, it was 2 fresh. So with that in mind, it's a fight that Na'Vi desperately needed. And it gives them a lot of breathing room, allows them to push out the lanes, keeps them in the game, for sure. But that was just Empire showing a little bit of its previous form, just being impatient, like, okay, we're really far ahead, let's just try to push. They probably...
I mean, do you think, will they try for that again, or will they go, all right, we'll just keep farming?
They'll wait out Roshan, because the weird thing is, they waited until the Aegis was gone on the Spectre to push, which I thought was bizarre. And it's not like it just faded, it was like it was gone, Ramses had a full inventory, and then they decided to push. So, I'm not really sure what the thought process was, maybe they were just super confident, but those are the kind of things that can really come back to haunt you in this situation. No pun intended. Because unfortunately he didn't have haunt, because he died.
I mean, I guess if you are worried, though, of Ramses being jumped on and lassoed, who else can you kind of have on the front lines when you go for these kind of pushes, if you're the side of Empire?
I mean, ideally, you just let the Furion and the Puck at the tower. Yeah. Because initiating on those 2 heroes, that's what the Spectre wants you to do. Because then he can just pop haunt with, like, no punishment at all. You know, he just hops on the Drow or, you know, Bane.
He's been on point so far this game. Let's see if he gets something out here, but this time it's going to be harder. Horn coming through. Dichara will put the BKB. Starts to get the right clicks onto Scannel. Suneko will be able to bring in Dendi on the back lines. Now Dendi with the BKB. They're looking to find more. They managed to find themselves the Disruptor. They're going to find the posture as well. Now General with the lasso onto Artstyle, and Dendi just punching away. He's doing a hell of a lot of damage. Scannel could be in trouble as well. Will drawn out to the orb on the sidelines. But it's another fight that ends 3-for-1. And Na'Vi, they are doing as much as they can with the tools that they have, the heroes that they have at this point of the game, 33 minutes in, and it's working out. These fights. And that was one where where Ramses did get the horn off. But still, Na'Vi, with these BKBs and with the amount of physical damage that they can do, Empire's lineup is looking a little bit too squishy.
I think they're really... The team fights that they're taking and the way they're taking it from Empire is really bizarre. Because I'm looking at Bane and Io, and I'm thinking Puck is the hero that I want to deal with those 2, right? But Ramses goes into the fight, and he goes straight for the Bane. Like, you don't need to go for the Bane and Spectre. You can just go for the Drow. You can go for the Spectre, or the Viper, rather. You can just pop your Manta and hit them. And they won't be able to stand there and fight you back. You do way more damage. So it's really bizarre that Dendi just gets to sit there in these team fights, and literally no one's touching him. Like, he's just standing there, just hitting. And then General saves his lasso, and he just pops it on Afterlife as soon as his BKB was used, and they just punch him to death. Like, the fights are very sloppy right now from Empire. I would like to see a little bit more focus on either the Drow or the Viper, probably the Drow, because it's the easier target to kill, and standing in range takes away marksmanship, or at least part of it. So, I'm not sure. It's really weird to watch these team fights kind of play out, because everything in my brain is telling me that Na'Vi should not be able to win fights like this.
But they're coming out on top. Yeah. They really are making it work, and as you said, I mean, at the moment you want to be killing Dendi, but Dendi, he's starting to work towards that butterfly, and he's only going to get harder to kill. There is going to be a point where this Drow is not the kind of the easy early to mid-game target that you can just burst just like that and eliminate from the fights. Dendi's going to be able to stand strong. He's going to have the backup of Snake on the IO. And, of course, Viper with the mechanism.
Yeah, that's true. He is quite a bit tankier than the normal Drow that you see. Like overcharge is flat 20% damage mitigation, which is really good. And like you mentioned, the mech. And he's going to have Butterfly as well.
It's nearly done.
Yeah. It's not super good against Spectre, because Desolate can't miss. So if you're like ever alone, or you're isolated in a fight, you're far enough away to where it procs, and you just Manta styles, you still get wrecked. But it is a great item in the sense that it gives you a ton of damage for your team. And it's still good against Furion, because he doesn't have MKB. But yeah, this is a really weird situation. You know, Na'Vi, they're holding on. And it's not even like they're just holding on. It's like they're regaining the game with a lineup that is not really even meant to go this late.
You've got to be scared if you're Empire. If you're losing these fights, something's not going right for you. They've got to work out what it is. I mean, they're going to try and get themselves Roshan again. Go for the Aegis. The question is, are Na'Vi able to get themselves over? Well, we will see.
I think they... this is going to be close, actually.
I do like that, Andy. Have you just noticed that?
What?
At the top, Na'Vi under the pennants. There's one Na'Vi fan watching this.
Literally one.
That one Na'Vi fan. It's nice for Toby to come on and support the team at the time and need one Na'Vi. They're going to jump in. BKB's been popped by all three of them. And what are the damage? Just look at that bloody damage. They're just gone. I mean, that's Afterlife out. Ramses down as well. They're going to both buy back. Now there'll be a Static Storm down. Scandal's coming in. Getting low to Chirara as well. They're still giving themselves a lot, but finally they go down.
He got it. Ramses got it.
They get the Roshan, they get the Aegis, they get themselves the kill. The Radiant got the kill onto Roshan, but as you said, the Aegis snatched. They do end up getting those kills onto Suneko, Dendi, and Dichara. Suneko did buy back. He might be in trouble as well. This could be a dieback. No, he's going to re-relocate. He's okay. He's okay.
Man, that was so close. Like, if Na'Vi get that Aegis...
then this just goes from bad to worse for Empire.
The game could have been completely turned on its head. That was so close, actually.
I mean, that still did cost a couple of buybacks in the old general.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with it, though.
Can he get himself out of this? He's got Suneko backing him up, and they will lasso up Ramses. I mean, they don't have the best of damage between the two of them, and yeah, Ramses is just going to take down General. Suneko will try and walk this off, but you've already got Ramses hot on the trail. He's looking to try and take this IO, and this IO, of course, will be down for a second time if Ramses can find him, and he should be able to. One more slap to the balls, and he's gone. Double kill for the Spectre. 73 seconds now on the clock for Suneko. And as you said, that fight around the Roche pit, it did cost Empire a couple of buybacks, but it's now put you back into the position where you're like, all right, Empire, they're looking to be the strongest side.
Yeah, the really crappy thing about that fight for Na'Vi is they were doing so well at utilizing their high duration BKBs to win fights, and that's what you want to do. You want to have like your 10, 9, 8 second BKBs be like the fight winning BKBs and maybe even the game winning BKBs, but unfortunately, since they don't get that Aegis, everything just seems to kind of fallen apart very quickly after the fact.
Deep. Trying to go to Ramses.
He just missed like 5 auto attacks in a row.
Strike. He's not missing these though. Ramses is getting low, but as we've seen, he does have that Aegis. A couple more hits and 10 might be able to proc it. He's going to get glimpse back. Nice play from King Art. Neposhka kicking Ramses.
All right, so Empire, they reestablished their control of the game a little bit, but Na'Vi are showing that with BKBs, and I kind of really didn't take this into account when I first was looking at the lineup of Empire, but all of their heroes pretty much don't do any damage against BKB until the Furion and the Spectre are farmed, right? So if you have like triple BKB, the puck does literally nothing.
He's now got his Ags.
Yeah, he's got Ags now. But
and so I think the Disruptor's got Ags as well, hasn't he? Just picked it up.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, double Ags. So, I mean, these two Aghanims are the answer to your BKBs, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it can be nice if you catch the hero before he pops it. But that's the thing. It's like if you don't get the Storm before BKB, then it still doesn't do anything. So you need to also, I think, pick up a Blink after the fact, because I think he has Glimmer as well. Yeah, Glimmer Ags. And then the other issue is that normally when you buy Aghanims on Puck, you want to buy it against melee BKB carriers. So like Ursa and Sven are probably the two front runners who I think that it's best against.
Yeah, because if you're ranged, you just sit there and
hit him anyway. Yeah,
I don't need to leave the coil.
That's really the problem. Because the only way you make them break the coil is by Spectre and Furion hitting them for so much damage that they have to run. That's how you make them break the coil, whereas melee heroes, they just get kited super hard. So it's not like amazing, but it's still good. You just have to play around it the right way.
On top lane, we might actually see something kick off it. They're going to walk through Art Style and General in a bit of trouble here. It's going to be that Dream Coil stun going through that BKB. General will pop the Shiva's Guard, trying to get himself over the cliff line, but they've got the vision, they glimpse him back. Art Style will look for the TP out, and he's actually going to make it. So it is just going to be General going down, but that is Gem hitting the deck, and General gone for 70 seconds. Question is Empire aware that there's a gem available there? Are they not picking up the gem?
Don't need a gem, dude.
Yeah, they did grab those. Sorry, they grabbed it, yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
one
they?
for each eye
Surely?
now.
Yes.
I didn't see it on the ground.
King
so yeah,
Eyes
they
got
have
it. Yeah.
All right, so Puck and Chip are both with gems now. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I was expecting to see when I was watching Empire play. But I have to mention, like, Na'Vi played extremely well with this lineup from behind. And I think a lot of it, you know, we've talked about the bat a lot, but I feel like it bears repeating. That General has had a very strong performance. Like, his lassos have been on point. He has kept them in the game for, I would say, probably 10 to 15 minutes longer than they had any business being in this game. And the fact is, they still haven't even lost. Because they have this butterfly now on Dendi. He does a tremendous amount of damage. He can go back for something like Satanic. You know, if he wants to go for even more stat heavy, he can go Scotty.
Snake. Oh, he's going for a cheeky courier snipe. That's what he was trying for. I might actually be in a bit of trouble now. He's going to go back in time as he surely. Oh, no!
Bopped. Oh, he killed Bane as well.
What? Art style?
Art style down, boys.
Hang on. I mean, that's a way to pick up a double.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can just Nightmare the illusion and run away, can't you? Like, you can
Well, he must have been extremely low because he literally died seconds after he popped the hole.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
jumped. Oh, no, sorry. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't haunt. How did he die? Did he
So
die to an
magic
illusion?
illusions?
He died to illusions?
Art style.
Okay, that's even more
Alright.
unfortunate.
Come on.
I don't know what's happening anymore. Everything's falling
And
apart.
Art style was having a good game at the start. I think
He
we
was.
jinxed him.
He was. He was having a very strong performance. And the thing is, like, he needed to be the one to make the moves as well.
I think
'Cause
he's been watching Synderen's main gameplay. It's,
well, that's saying, like, Synderen actually
that's
makes
what
good
I want
moves
to
in
see.
the early
Sin
game.
versus Art style 1v1 mid on the Bane.
Oh, God. I'm sure you and the 10 other viewers would love that. But this is 13 of 150, actually. That's lower than I thought it would be. Butterfly is really strong this game, though. Like, Dro and Viper, neither one of them really want to buy MKB. And you're the only melee hero on the team, so you need to build in a way that you're the tankiest you can possibly be against physical damage output. So I like the Butterfly here. I think it's just a case of we don't see many Dro strats, or at least
Look
not
at
as
that
many.
strat on the mid lane drawn on the map.
Yeah, dude.
That's
the please.
that's the Art style strat.
That's a
as
please
well.
don't let me die to Manta illusions
There
against
was
strat.
Manta illusions here with Radiance. It was terrifying, team.
Yeah.
Please no report.
All right then. Well, this is going to be... It's going to be a rough road back. Like, General has to hit more lassos. I even think at this point he needs to contemplate buying a refresher, because one lasso might not even be enough. He might have to, like, lasso somebody into the freaking well.
Well, see Na'Vi. Yeah, trying to move in and look for something here. General just jumping forward, getting the vision, but Scandal's already out. So what thanks?
Look at the wording from Empire, by the way. It's just like, your base is surrounded by wards. This is when you need gem.
The Orion's belt of wards here.
This is like the easiest gem dewarding of your life, but they lost theirs. I don't know if it's actually up in the shop yet. Have to check.
Have they bought second one coming up?
I think it's, yeah. They
It's
have it, I
available,
guess.
yeah.
There's no money.
So at the moment, just both Ditchera and Dendi saving that cash. I guess at this point you do need to make sure you do have that buyback gold available if you're Na'Vi.
Yeah, it's a very hard game to itemize as well, because Dendi sees that butterfly and Spectre, and he's like, man, I really need an MKB now. But at the same time, he would rather just get lifesteal. Like, being tankier is going to be better, because that way you can just stay in the fight. You're not going to get forced out. Because there will reach a stage when, like, the Puck, because he's gone for this Aghanims build, like, Scandal's going to continue to farm, but he's not a damage hero, you know? He's just giving you control.
Let's see what Dendi goes for. Yeah, as you said, he's opting for, as you said, being forced to buy that MKB.
Yeah, it's not an item that you want to buy, but you kind of need it.
We have Empire coming back into the mid lane. See if they can get something. In fact, as well, they're looking to see if they can catch out any of these heroes on the top lane. Seneko did come out. At the same time, you've got Dendi hiding in the trees. Ping's coming through. Seneko trying to juke this off, and now they'll haunt him. They'll get the vision to glimpse back Seneko, bringing him in, but he's relocated out. He's relocated himself out.
He's bought himself 12 seconds.
Could he bring anything back here?
If you only could live for 12 seconds, Owen, what would you do?
Well, he's... I mean, you say that, Andy, but they've forgotten him.
They just bailed on him, yeah. I guess they weren't willing to risk the Batrider initiation.
Okay. Smart stuff from Seneko. Pays off. Keeps himself alive.
The weird part is Empire actually had vision there, too. They had vision of pretty much everything outside of the ramp.
Hey, what's Ramses building with that VIP booster?
A heart?
Oh, sorry, yeah, of course.
I'm like, wait, what?
No, I just, for some reason, I just thought Vanguard. That's the only
You know,
thing
that's weird because you mentioned
yeah.
that, and I was like, wait, what? He has a vitality booster? Because the way you phrased it made me think that it was weird. And then I remembered that he was playing Spectre, and then I was like, yeah, he's buying a heart.
It's a heart. Yeah. I mean, once you've got that heart, and I mean, if Dendy does get the MKB out, they certainly can still take down that Spectre if they get you know, General jumping in with a lasso. But King R, that's a freebie.
Oh, that's a DD as well. Roshan's gonna spawn so soon.
Na'Vi!
It's gonna spawn so soon.
Is the biggest Na'Vi fan.
Okay, they saw it. Oh, they reload out.
Oh, and they're killing Ramses. I mean, this couldn't be any better for Na'Vi if they can get this kill. Some of the evasion paying off. He's missing a lot here, but he's still going to find Afterlife. If they can get Ramses
he can't go back
as well.
to the pit. He killed the Wisp.
Oh, shoot. Scandal's jumped in. Dream Quality Gem, the flame break.
Oh, he got him.
Oh.
He's dead. Oh, my God.
That $1,000
And now the
break.
Roshan fight as well. Dendy can't get back. He has to run.
Yeah, but still, it's great for not. They've just killed Spectre. Oh.
I mean, you say that, but he has buyback and haunt in 5 seconds, so I don't know if they can get this Roshan
He's
anymore.
dead, Andy.
I actually think
The
that Afterlife
Spectre's
killing
dead.
the Wisp just stopped them from killing Roche, because if he buys back right now and pops haunt, they can fight. Scandal's in the area as well.
Well, let's see if he does that. Let's see if he does do that. There's no Dream Coil for 40 seconds,
Oh,
Dendy.
they might let it go, actually.
Enter in the pit. Do you want to expend your buyback? Yes, you do. Buyback comes down into the horn straight away. Ramses jumping in with the horn, and the man solutions about to draw. Possibly giving Dendy as well. Now looking to get himself out of there. He's got to run. He's got to hide. In fact, he turns around, trying to go from imposture, but the Ghost Scepter's down. Dendy can't get the damage out. Lever Afterlife, the stone cuts through. The BKB's down. Dendy's gone. Double kill for Ramses.
Oh my God, Afterlife, what a player, man. I don't know if he knew that was going to happen, but that was, like, unbelievably good that he killed that Wisp. If the Wisp didn't die, Dendy goes back to the Roshan pit with a DD, and they just kill Roshan in like 5 seconds. That would have actually put them in such a good position in the game. Him killing that Wisp just did so much. What a game, actually.
You were right, Andy. Just like that, Na'Vi, there's no buyback available for Dendy. In fact, Dendy, he did have a lot of gold. Did he start buying that MKB? Is that the issue we've got here?
Yeah, he has
Sorry,
MKB.
he went all in, didn't he?
Yeah,
of course.
he
We just
bought
saw
it.
in that last fight. So,
That was like
no
almost
buyback.
the perfect storm for Na'Vi. And then Seneko died and everything just went to crap.
Oh, he's so close to having money for this buyback as well. I mean, I guess 40 seconds isn't the longest, but we may see them lose a set of racks. Here's Ramses already at the front lines, cleaning out the creep wave and ready to go. They should have a good shot of finding at least one set of racks here, as the fort will come out, trying to buy Na'Vi sometime. So we'll see indeed the melee racks falling, the range to go as well. Looks like they'll be able to clean up the mid lane as well. It's only half the racks remaining there. The Na'Vi, they will be back up in full force. The game not yet over, but it's certainly looking grimmer and grimmer. But at the same time, we have got to give credit as I mean, you and myself, a lot of the analysts kind of wrote Na'Vi's draft off as the game went on, but 48 minutes in, they are still showing us that they can really put up a fight. I mean, you've got Dendy at the same amount of net worth pretty much as this Spectre 48 minutes into a game. That's got to be impressive in itself.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, the other part too, I think I was just underrating Batrider a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think that General could have as much of an influence in the game as he has. And given the fact that, you know, he's gotten multiple picks off on the Spectre now when they were pushing high ground bottom, especially the top one, and just keeping the game alive by virtue of finding picks. Like that, if they didn't have Bat, like I'm pretty sure any other hero in this game would have been over at like 25 minutes.
Yeah, General's been doing so much for the team.
I honestly think that they might
Really,
contemplate
really
banning it if Na'Vi are going to try to go in the same direction in game 2. I kind of doubt it though, because a draw strat's only something that you do like once. And especially in like a 2-game series, you can't do the same thing twice. And I do think that Empire probably walk away from this game, even if they win, which it looks like they might at this stage. If they win this game, they're probably not feeling super comfortable about how it played out. They probably feel like they could have played it a lot safer and probably, you know, won at an earlier stage. But it's a tough game, man. It is a very tough game.
I'm just looking at Afterlife's Nature's Prophet as well. I mean, he's looking pretty stacked at this point. He is level 24. He's in a position to sell his Midas and pick something else at the moment. He's just holding on to that cheese in his final slot. But MKB, Mjolnir, BKB, and AC, and there is a DD available here.
He actually punches so hard, and now they have a Hex as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Afterlife make a Hex too, just as his last slot. It's really strong in the late game. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Because if you have one Hex on Scandal and you have one on Afterlife, The back goes in. It's only a 5-second BKB. Maybe he, mistimed it or something. Maybe you just catch somebody out with a blink hex from the puck. You blink in, you hex him again, and then they're just dead. Because your right-click damage on the Fury into the stage is so high.
I think they're going to get the DD here too. Who are they saving this one for? It looks like, yeah, Ramses. He wants it, and he has got it. That's a lot of damage on this Spectre. 471 right-click with that DD. Now we'll see if he's able to do anything with it. I'm sure Empire would love to try and find a fight with that double damage up on Ramses. But at the same time, they know that they can't be kind of too pushy, because Na'Vi, they will be ready to jump back in. Ditchara coming out on this top lane. Ramses. Are they going to be able to find anything? The line was drawn there by Miposhka to cut the lane up. But already there's no one there on the side of Na'Vi. Dendi and Seneko will be working their way around on this bottom lane, and Empire actually backing all the way up as a group towards this top tier 2 on their side of the map. And we'll see if they're able to follow this push all the way around onto the side of Na'Vi's and see if anything kicks off there. I mean, is there any potential for Na'Vi themselves to continue to look for smokes and try and find a fight that they jump on? Or at this point, are you just kind of waiting for Empire to push into your base and try and go for a high ground defense?
I think you have to wait. There's no way you can fight into Spectre Aegis. Like, at this stage in the game, he just simply has too much farm. Like, you can't fight in an open field and have to kill him twice. They could probably kill him once. But then you always have to remember that Spectre is the hero where even if you focus him at the start, if you kill him and he has buyback, he's always going to punish you. So it's kind of unfortunate because this is the one time where he doesn't have buyback because he obviously had to use it.
This is not General. He knows that Afterlife's there and he is going to get the pick off here. There'll be a relocate coming through as well to help out the side. Here's Dendi with the damage. And that is your Nature's done for 110 seconds.
General's got such good awareness, man. He understands the lineup so well. And he's like, the Furian's not showing top. He's not going to push. He's not going to push either lane, so he's obviously going to be farming somewhere. So he just checks Ancients, and he's like, this is the one place where Furion... Yeah.
They can he...
He checks the one place where Furion can farm.
Oh, Scandal's actually turning around this one. Drops the Hex, the Dream Call onto General as well. BKB's going to be popped. Denny tries to get the right click on Scandal, but Scandal blinks away. But this is the Haunt used. And by the looks of it, they will get the Seneko kill. And they might just find General as well. I mean, these illusions doing so much. Scandal coming back through as well. He's going to be Nightmare, though. Oh, Art Style keeping him alive. Nice play from the Bane. Saves General's backside. It just ends up in a 1v1. But Empire, they do throw a fair few ults into that, and it doesn't end up going their way at all. It's just an IO kill at the end of the day. And, well, maybe there's going to be someone else as well as Miposhka. Nice Nightmare to save him from the Viper Strike. Thanks, Art Style, but it doesn't matter. They get the kill anyway. He's caught in the ring, will get taken down, but at the same time, Empire, they're coming in with Scandal, and now Ramses popping the Manta Style. Ditchara, he can't fight up against this on his own. He's looking for King Up, but King Up Glimmercapes himself. The power of the Spectre there, just with that Manta illusions, ripping through the Viper, and Viper himself, 80 seconds, no buyback.
That's really bad. The Viper is so bad against Spectre at this stage in the game, because the thing is, he doesn't have MKB, right? So he's playing into Radiance Mischance and Butterfly Mischance with no MKB. That's why Dendi had to buy MKB. Yeah, because against both of those items together, it's just it's too hard to kill the hero. He has too much effective health. So we're at the stage now where no buyback pretty much means it could be Megas. 70 seconds is a really long time, and let's see, Bane doesn't actually have buyback either, and he's down for 40, and we're at 54 minutes. So they're going to kill the base pretty darn quick.
Oh, I mean, the base is going to melt.
Yeah, could be the last stand here for Na'Vi in game 1.
Here we go. Go. Indeed is the call for a Scandal. Let's get this one back on. See if Na'Vi can do it again in terms of finding a fight. But as you said, they have already lost a fair few of their main contenders. There's no Earth Spirit to worry about. Nature's Prophet will, of course, be joining this fight in 10 seconds. Let's see what Dendi can do on his own. In fact, Scandal jumping forward, just clearing out the wave. So there's actually going to be a glimpse onto Dendi. He's going to get trapped in the ring, but he's got the help of Seneko, and Dendi will actually single-handedly force Ramses away. General,
they might not know that he doesn't have buyback. That's the other thing, too, is you don't actually know for sure. And you don't know if they're just holding it because they need to commit to the fight, or if they're holding it because they don't have it. That's like another thing, too. Is like it's obvious to us that he doesn't have buyback, but when you're in the game, it's not as clear. And you could easily justify them not buying back on the Viper there because they just know that one fight can just straight up end the game. So they want to make sure that they have buyback for that fight. That could be their mentality. And just say, it's not worth it. We're already 2 Raxes ahead. Let's just let the lanes push.
I mean, General as well, he has got a lot of money on his back. He's got 5.7k. I mean, what is he looking at as the game in the island? Does he pick himself up a Hex for the side, or?
I think Refresher is better.
Refreshers is the item.
Yeah. Double BKB is so strong against Empire's lineup because they rely very heavily on the puck and the disruptor to hold people in place, so you can actually get damage in. So if you have double BKB, double lasso, double force staff, you know, you can pull somebody really freaking far away. And, you know, you get Afterlife or you get Ramses, you know, you get lucky. Maybe you can, you know, drag him into the well or something when you're defending the tier 3. Refresher's just really nice. I mean, Hex isn't bad either, but I think Hex is much harder to utilize.
Oh, he's gone for the Hex.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does with that.
It's okay. I personally would have preferred to see Refresher.
Yeah.
But Hex is still always a good item.
Let's see Na'Vi.
I guess the one reason why Refresher could be worse is because you're against the Ag's coil. So if you like get hit by the coil and you pop 1 BKB, then you pretty much can't use Refresher.
They're going to Haunt, jump in straight away. Dendy's been hexed up, he needs help, and he's going to get it. Snako relocating him out to the fight to the side, but Ramses jumping straight in with the illusions as well. Look at the kill onto Dendy, and he might just get it, and he will. Dendy's down, but there's a buyback available. The Drow comes straight back in, but Tichira's been taken out on the sidelines, and he still does not have buyback on this Viper. Oh, Style glimpse back in. It's another kill. Snako as well will buy back. Dendy, General, and Snako, the last 3 men standing on the side of Na'Vi. They need something big, and they do get the Hex on the Scandal. Scandal's gone. Snako dropping low. Dendy still finds it. No, he gets stunned after BKB was out. They get the glimpse back onto General. Dendy trying to get himself back to base. Can he turn? Can he punish this? But Ramses going in for the BM kills, and he does it. He's a Spectre. He doesn't give 2 hoots. He just dives the fountain. And that is it. Game is over. Empire do it. 56 minutes, though. The Drow strap from Na'Vi does have its, it can certainly make the game go out, that's for sure, but at the end of the day, it's a Spectre.
It's a little bit of a wonky Drow draft, though, because normally you have more of an all-in style of push, whereas Na'Vi, they had Io and Batrider. So instead of having like the super strong 5-man, they had the ability to play from behind, which most Drow strats don't have, but they were still very reliant on winning the lanes, and they were still never going to be able to contest a late-game Spectre unless they get, like, you know, really good pickoffs, which, again, shout out to General. He did an amazing job that game, just keeping them alive.
He played very, very well.
Yeah. And at the very end, you know, it was just showcased how difficult it is for Na'Vi to really fight into a fully farmed Spectre. It's like he pops Haunt, and it's so hard to focus the hero down. Your Batrider can't blink anymore, so if they get the jump on you, the fight becomes infinitely harder. Whereas General, when he's in his comfort zone, you know, he's finding pickoffs on Afterlife, he's finding Ramses, he's keeping him alive. But at the end there, you know, Na'Vi just lost a little bit too much. So hopefully for game 2, they can step it up a bit, maybe a different draft.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly showed a lot of fighting spirit. I mean,
absolutely.
They really went for that Na'Vi. 56 minutes in, I mean, we were on the panel and here, it was like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. This strat isn't going to stand up at all to that of Empires, and it did. You know, the way that General played, the fact that they were able to find these jumping initiations, and Denny was getting the opportunity to get those right clicks out along with Ditchara. The BKBs, you know, they were huge. They got them in good time, and it was enough to do a lot against Empire, but just not quite enough. At the end of the day, it's a Spectre on paper. You see, they've got a Spectre, you've got a Drow.
Not going to be great past like 40 minutes.
You're not going to win with the Drow, and that was the case at the end of the day. Empire take the first game of the series, and we're going to be back with the second game very shortly, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. But first to a quick ad break, then back to the panel. We'll see you shortly for game 2 between Empire and Na'Vi.